An overwhelmingly friendly crowd greeted Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu as he walked into the chamber, and he solidified it.
And I see a lot of new friends of Israel here as well, Democrats and Republicans alike.
Mr. Netanyahu said Israel has no better friend than the United States. His speech brought numerous standing ovations. The Prime Minister blamed the lack of peace on the Palestinians.
I stood before my people, and I told you it wasn't easy for me. I stood before my people and I said, I will accept a Palestinian state. It's time for President Abbas to stand before his people and say, I will accept a Jewish state. Those 6 words will change history.
Israel Studies professor Paul Sham from the University of Maryland watched Tuesday's speech with VOA.
If someone is actually militarily interested in destroying Israel, 6 words won't stop them.
The Prime Minister said Jerusalem should remain in Jewish hands to ensure all religions can worship there. The Palestinian refugee problem should be resolved outside Israel's border. And Israelis would make the border generous in size, yet firm on location. But ultimately, Mr. Netanyahu said peace talks cannot go forward as long as the Palestinians' Fatah faction retains ties to Hamas.
Israel will not negotiate with a Palestinian government backed by the Palestinian version of al-Qaeda. That we will not do.
Professor Sham agrees Hamas is anti-Semitic and involved in terrorism, but he argues it does not call for global jihad like al-Qaeda.
However, the fact is Hamas has and still does represent about 30% of the Palestinian people. And you can't leave them on this side.
David Aaron of the Rand Corporation says the two sides, Israelis and Palestinians, don't trust each other.
So neither one really wants to talk to the other because there's no real point to it. And I don't think you're going to get much of a change until such time as there's major political changes really on both sides.
A PLO representative to the U.S. says nothing over the past 2 days will re-energize the peace talks. He says Mr. Netanyahu put too many preconditions on future talks before Palestinians even agreed to meet. Carolyn Presutti, VOA News.